what's up? It's Kathy and I'm back with another process video, and this one is for a summer scrapping series that is 14 days of scrappy YouTube videos put together by an awesome YouTuber named Audrey Yeager. I think I'm pronouncing her last name right, and I'm going to put her YouTube channel in my info section. And she does a process video every day for the 14 days, and then she gets another YouTuber to do one on each day. So there's a whole bunch of different YouTubers doing one, so 14 different ones plus her. So because they're on different days, if you just go to her channel, she'll have the links for each day in her description as well. So then you can go check out who did what day and check out her videos as well. So I'm doing day number 7, so halfway through the series, and I decided that this was a great opportunity to use up some of my old stash because most of the projects that I work on now are for like where I have to use certain products because they have to be, you know, from a certain place or things like that. So oftentimes I don't get a lot of opportunity to scrap my stash because I'm so busy with other projects. So this was great. I grabbed mostly, I say mostly, a really old Dear Lizzie, what are they called? Collection. I think it was called Neapolitan. I grabbed a lot of it. When I bought it though, it wasn't the Dear Lizzie collection. It was the when Recollections from Michaels buys out the designs and then they make their own. So it's not quite the same. And it only came with papers and some stickers and stuff like that, and these little banners and whatnot. The swan paper is actually from last year's Dear Lizzie summer collection. I think it was called Happy Place. And there was a lemon paper that I used that I apparently did not. That's really weird. Huh. I thought, sorry guys, I didn't realize that I didn't film me backing my photo, but my photo is backed with a few different papers. 2 of them are from the Neapolitan collection, and the third one was lemons, and it was from another Dear Lizzie collection, and I don't know the name of it, but it had all purples and blues and navy blues and different colors like that. And I have some of the papers from that collection, but that's about all I have from it. So anyway, I'm using the lemons too so I could bring in some yellow. I cut out some of those little mason jars, which I always love. I think they're super adorable. And I know mason jars are kind of passe now, but I still think that paper is so cute to use. And I love cutting out the jars. So I only end up using one. I decided to bring in some frames, and these are just from my stash of frames. And I just grabbed any ones that I knew would match. And I do, in the end, switch around so much of this layout. I put a little piece of the banner on, and then I end up covering up so much of it anyway, but I only grabbed off that much because it was really annoying to try to get all of it off. It was taking forever, so I just decided to go with a small amount. I decided to put a doily underneath her picture just to kind of accent her picture, and I'm just using like a craft cardstock in the background, which I actually found out that if you try to put adhesive tape right on it, it just peels up like almost like corrugated cardboard would, which was really weird. I wasn't expecting it to do that, but it does. So I'm gonna layer a few different frames, and then I'm gonna try to use up as much of this sticker sheet as I possibly can because I kind of want to get it out of my stash at this point. And I do end up switching almost every large sticker that I put down. And they're really thin, so I had to really think about where I was going to put them unless I wanted to put them on white cardstock and cut them out from there. So I don't end up doing that, but if I had wanted to to make sure that they were a little bit more sturdy, I could have done that. What am I thinking? Oh, I did spray white dilutions in the background, and I did mop up some of it with paper towel, so it's not as opaque as it could have been if I left it to dry, but I really was not all that concerned. I'm kind of going through some of my older embellishment ephemera packs, and I have a whole bunch of that I Am. I think it was from Simple Stories, and then an older Pink Fresh Studio, one of their very first lines. I have some of that ephemera and just random things. So I'm just kind of going through and seeing what I can pull out. And that's when I realize that I kind of want to use some that have gold on them. So then I want gold in every little block, because why not? Then I found this little flower, which is a fussy cut piece from an old basic gray that I hadn't finished fussy cutting. So I finished and decided to pop it in as well. The other thing I was going to say, now that I'm trying to remember, is my concept for this layout was supposed to be very simple, very simplistic, and maybe anybody who watches the majority of my videos realizes that I can't do anything simple and subtle at all. So it just gets into design and embellishment overload. Now, some of that, I think, for me personally, was because I was trying to use up a whole lot of stash. Just because if you use it up, then you can buy more and not feel guilty. And have, there'll be less space. It'll be taking up less space, essentially. So, yeah, I kind of skipped through a lot of me moving stuff around and different things like that. And, yeah, humming and hawing, I guess, over where I was gonna put things. But yeah, I do end up moving that scooter. I end up moving the camera. I do end up moving the mason jar and then putting it back. And thankfully that mason jar has little lines on it, so it was great because I could actually use it as a journaling spot. My original thought was that I was going to back this whole layout, like cut it down and back it on a different piece of paper, some kind of pattern paper. But I do not end up doing that. I didn't find anything that I wanted to back it completely in. Oh, and there's so much kind of already going on that adding in even more just made it a little too much. So I end up just doing some strips of paper in the top and the bottom, which was when I discovered how weird the craft paper is. But yeah, you can see I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't want to cover up too much of the banner either. I'm also trying to include gold on each of the 3 squares, but I don't want the gold to be perfectly level. I don't want it to be a straight line, that it would be viewed as a straight line. I would prefer it one up a little further than the other or down a little further than the other. So that's where it gets kind of tricky for me, is when it's too perfect, it's too lined up. That's when it actually bothers me and I have to switch it. But yeah, I'm just kind of fiddling around with stickers. Once I stuck that scooter down on that acetate doily though, it was stuck. So I did want to remove it, but I can't remove it. So it kind of has to float around altogether. And I'm just grabbing some of the little flowers, trying to use up those as almost kind of in the way that you would use enamel dots, though I am going to also use enamel dots as well, just for a little bit more accent. I do want to keep some kind of dark element in each square, so her picture's framed with a brown floral. The scooter has a brown seat, there's a brown flower, and the camera has a brown lens, though I do end up covering that, so I guess I don't end up doing it well. Oh well. These are old thickers too. I love this font. I remember when this one was all the rage and I could not get any of them, and I finally caved and ordered some online. And of course I had to get teal kind of aqua ones because I just love that color so much. And I still have a whole bunch. But I wanted to use the title Sunshiny Days, and that's when I realized that my one long piece, my one long square, was where I should have put my title. I should have put it there, and the frames and everything on a different spot. And I didn't. So, oh well. Now I gotta work with that. So you can see I moved the scooter and it's kind of stuck there now. So it's not moving. But that does allow me to put my title in on the bottom. And I don't write days, I just write day because I didn't think I needed to write days. It was just one day. So it's all good. Then I grabbed the Dear Lizzie Happy Place ephemera from last year, and I noticed there was a cute pineapple, and I think there's an orange that I grab in, and the colors still match because I've got orange in other places, so I bring in that cute little orange and the cute little pineapple, and it kind of just makes more embellishing, but that's kind of how I like it, so it's not that big of a deal to me because it's just more fun, more things to look at. Yeah. I used to be really afraid of using up my embellishments, and now I just, like going to town because then I realize there's always something new coming. There's always a new line coming, collection coming. So, and I always, for the most part, even when like there's 5 or 10 different ones released, I may not like them all, but I like enough of them that I can replenish my supply. So I don't really have to worry. These are probably the newest things that I'm putting on. And these are from Maggie Holmes' Chasing Dreams. They're the buttons. And I was going to use three different colors except for, I was going to not use the black. But yeah, I decided to just use the yellow ones. I thought they were cute. And then I do use those Hooray, I think it was from My Mind's Eye, enamel dots as well. And I'm trying to get them in a visual triangle, but not in a really, again, like in a straight line visual triangle, not a perfect triangle. I want them just a little up or down from each other. So I'm going to use the enamel dots to kind of do a couple different interesting accents, like the wheels of the scooter, the other little circle that's on the camera, the dotting the eye in Sunshiny, and then the rest of them I just kind of spread out. And originally I was not going to add more color shine or anything like that, and then I realized, who am I kidding? That is the thing that I do. Almost every layout has ink splatters. It's very rare when I don't, and the ones that don't usually have some other kind of mixed media going on, so how could I not? So I used the peach Heidi Swap, which is almost like an orange, so I really like how that one turned out. So pictures are coming up, and thanks so much for watching.